Hold on, we're going to hit the record button. Boom.
There we go.
We are live. We're recorded. Okay, so welcome to our Sunday family time call. We have two excellent guest speakers to provide to you guys tonight. We're super fired up to introduce them here in a little bit. Like we always do every Sunday, every family call, is we're going to go ahead and get some shares, some highlights from the week from everybody. Don't everybody unmute themselves at once, but if you guys have either have shares for the week or the weekend, if you've been to the STS for this weekend, or just, something that was positive for the week that you guys would like to share with us, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I know it's kind of dark. I'm in the truck. I'm at work. But this is Aaron Hilliard at Racine, Wisconsin. Currently a World Team member. But this week concluded our 30-day transformation challenge. Oh my gosh! I can see my abs coming in. They look. Ooh, I can't wait to get on that beach. They look right. But yeah, I just transformed my body to the fullest. There's more results to come, and everybody else stick with it. Let's go.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up, Aaron. Abs for the summer. I see you, bro. I hope you come up to Green Bay so we can run some push-ups or something. Appreciate the share. Anybody else?
Yo, what's up?
What
Yeah,
up?
hear me?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Oh, okay, all right. Just making sure. Jay Irwin here, Charlotte, North Carolina. Share I want to say is, I just got a client, tonight. I just posted it. Got my cousin on board, you know what I'm saying? He needs results, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, clap it up. Hey, okay. But anyway, yeah, man, I'm just fired up, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's time to get the first cut of this, at the supervisor. So, you know what I'm saying? I just been working out here, just getting uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm with it, yo. That's it. That's all I want to share. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that. Congratulations on your new client. That's what's up, especially family. That's the best. Anybody else?
Yo,
Yeah.
I'll go.
Okay.
Hey, Sam here from Green Bay. How's it going?
Fantastic.
Hey, so I'm just going to update everybody because, it's fun to do this, but down 20 pounds now since January 1st.
Hey!
It's going to be nuts. I'm definitely hitting that 100-pound down mark this year. I'm going to have abs. His name is Jorge. We'll name the other ones as they come. So, but yeah, that's what I got.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for that share. Appreciate that, Sam and Jorge. All right, let's take one more share because I want to give as much time as possible to our guest speakers. One more share.
I'll go ahead and share if no one else got to share. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good to go.
All right. Hello, Curtis here from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I just do a quick little share. Just came back this past weekend from the Minneapolis STS. Great time, loved it. Just still absorbing the whole weekend and everything that I took in, and just the whole weekend. It was just a great weekend and a lot of knowledge gained. One takeaway that I take is that I missed that anyways. Summertime, I missed it because what you said, which if you put something on there, I missed it. So anyways, one of my takeaways is I like how Garen stressed a lot about caring about your client. He had a nice piece on making sure that you care about your client and get to know your client, your members or distributors or whoever you have, underneath you or below you. Just make sure, and that kind of like secures your business and just helps, that grows your business by itself. It's just getting to know who you're dealing with, your customers, your members, and all that, and that way you can service them better, and in return your business will benefit from it. So I kind of like how he stressed on that, because that's something that me personally has been trying to do lately. So But I had a lot of takeaways, but that was one of my best ones. Best takeaways.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Definitely great shares. Garen definitely went in, as everybody I'm sure knows. We're going to ask, and this is totally up to you, Allie, if you would like to do it. We'll let you do one more share here. If you want to go ahead. Hold on, let's unmute you. You're good. All right, go. Try now. Oh, no, we can't hear you. No, I don't think it's working.
You got a Galaxy?
You got a Galaxy, Allie? No?
She has an iPhone.
Oh, man. Okay, well, this is what we're going to do. No problem. Yes. We'll come back to you. You can type it in if you would like to. Okay, so now that we got our shares out the way, obviously we would like to just kind of introduce ourselves and then just give you guys a quick share, a highlight of our weekend. We also saw Garen Jones at the Minneapolis STS, which was super fire, super inspirational. Most of the time it was personal development, but we all know how Garen gets down, and it was very impactful. So to start us off here, for those of you who do not know me, or us, I should say, my name is Orlando. We've been doing the business in Herbalife for 3 years strong now. A little bit about myself is before Herbalife, ex-college athlete, working out 2, sometimes 3 times a day, right? And I was just looking for muscle gain. I was at about 140, 145 pounds soaking wet, struggling to gain weight. Went into GNC, went into Walmart, went to McDonald's drive-thru, got everything, tried to put on weight just by eating so many calories. It was not working. Found Herbalife, thank God for that, through my cousin Stephen Crawford. I mean, some of y'all know who he is. And I was able to gain 30 pounds of lean muscle, dropping my body fat from 30% down to 15. I was like, okay, these products work. We jumped in for the business, all full force after extravaganza. And things just went up and up from there, and just feeling amazing and fantastic. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, so hello everybody, my name's Kylie. So basically I started the products by default. I didn't realize I gained 30 to 40 pounds in college. Made sense though, because I was always tired, hated working out, knew nothing about nutrition.
Crabby.
So he had seen, I used to be really sassy. He had seen Steven's results on Instagram. So then I was like, sure, I could lose some weight. So I ended up losing 15 pounds initially. And I've actually bumped my results up to 20 pounds now, and I've kept it off for 3 years. So that's what's been super awesome for me, is maintaining it off, feeling awesome. I now enjoy going to the gym. And the outlook and like the positivity that I've brought into my life, it's helped our relationship. And just kind of just helped my everyday attitude because I'm feeling better. So that's been huge for me. The energy, obviously we all know the energy. Tea and aloe literally is my life.
Ooh.
So it's been super awesome. We opened a nutrition club last fall here in Green Bay. So that's been super fun for us to do. So quick here, like he said, I'm just going to share a little bit of our takeaways from Garen. We've seen him a few times actually, at an event, but with us being very grateful to have him in our organization, we're able to hear him every Monday night as well with his mentoring calls. So I kind of had intentions to go into the event with a very open mind and wanting to grow more personally, since that is really what he focuses on. So kind of just a reminder of that he talks about really with connecting with everyone. When you put in comparison of like the people you meet that are on your team already or that you are planning to meet, is really just a projection of who that person is. Like you don't know anything about however old they are. If they're 25, you don't know what they've been through in that 25 years. So him just reminding us of that with building the relationships, but really getting further than that was super cool. And the other thing that he talked about in his last section, which as we know with that, those of us that have been to events, is the use, wear, talk. But he said, like, you can go and do all of that, take the products, wear the brand, and go out and talk to 10,000 people in a month. But if you're not working on yourself, or if you're not changing as a person, who the person is that's talking to those 10,000 people may not make a difference if you're still the same person you were when you started. So him really talking about that and like releasing the sandbags that you have personally while helping that, he brought up the comparison like a hot air balloon can't float into the air with all the sandbags it has. So that was really awesome for me. I don't know if you had any specific shares.
Yes, so I do real quick. Also with what she just said last, it was just cool that Garen had mentioned that like you could go to a different job and, you know, think that, you know, you have great people that you're working with, a great boss, great new wow, I just drew a blank. Great employees or whatever. But you still have to take yourself to that new job. So just because you're switching in an entire environment, so just because you're coming into Herbalife and everything's fun and new and exciting, doesn't mean that you now left your old self behind. So that was just kind of cool to hear that. But what I want to share that really impacted me, at the end of his personal development, at the end of the day, he had talked about the power of connecting. So I was like, okay, where's this gonna go? But the first thing he said is like, who's actually doing the talking? So like, as far as like building relationships with your clients, with anybody in general that you interact with, it just really hit home because Kylie and I, we really been digging deep as far as building relationships, especially being the pin that we are currently. Like, it's not about us anymore. It should actually never have been, but you know, that happens because you're getting your personal results and it's, you know, about you know, advancing for your result wise. But as we're at Active World Team, we now have to build a team. So building the relationships, we're very good at that. But he had spoke about like the questions you ask your teammates or your clients to get to know them better. Like, for example, just listening to, you know, their, I wouldn't say problems or situations that they're having in life, and then asking them questions about that, and then kind of basically just getting really deep into the relationship with the person to show that you care, you truly care about that person. And as you guys all know, Garen Jones, he's really about relationships and things like that. So it just really hit home for me personally, just to dig deeper. Like, we have great relationships with our team, but it's now time to dig deeper and know a little bit more about each person. So I really got a lot out of that section. So without farther ado, Kylie is going to introduce our two guest speakers for tonight. I want you guys to take out your notebook and your pen if you guys are note takers, and just start to, you know, really get engaged of their information, because it's huge. We're going to want to, if you guys have any questions at the end, if they're okay with doing like a little Q&A at the end, we'll go ahead and end with that, but we'll kind of let them take the table. Kylie's going to introduce the both of them, and I am going to make sure I have my pen.
Okay, so I've been super excited to get this power couple on the call. So a little bit about my like secret creeping in a weird way is we actually met them on a promotion that we had qualified for in Miami. Yep. But like, I didn't talk to her or anything. I still remember like they had like, yeah, we were going into the club that they had like all VIP for people that qualified for the promotion. And I remember Roxy and Aubrey walked by me. I was like, who is that? And like, we hadn't met them yet because we were all in different houses. Like in Miami, it was like the best ever. But I met them. So then I started to follow them. And I've been like following from like a distance till I like finally reached out to her like 3 months ago. And like, in a way, she's been like a mentor to me, to where we were getting advice on as far as like them, how they've grown in the business. And we were actually a guest speaker on one of their calls like a month ago. So we are super thankful for that. But I've really gotten to know them and followed them. And they're super inspiring as far as like us being a power couple, to watch other power couples grow in the business. So without further ado, I will introduce Roxy and Aubrey, current millionaire team. And get your pen and paper out. I'm super excited. So you guys can unmute yourself.
Let's go.
What up? How's everybody doing? What's up, you guys? Happy Sunday. Fired up. Man, really love the opening wins. That just got me fired up, you guys. Hearing about the 20 pounds down the 100-pound goal, the abs revealing party that's, already been scheduled. Really fires me up. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you guys for having us. Kai Lando, we've been seeing you guys rocking it. We're great friends with, Summertime over here. Steven, we work closely with him over here in the LA region. And it's all one big family over here. So anytime that, there's an opportunity to share, just like when we've asked them to share, it's always been just excitement. And really, that's what's a cool thing is that it's a privilege to be able to share because everybody doesn't get asked to share their story. So we're really grateful, excited to be here. And really what we're here to talk about today, and what's so interesting is that a lot of the things you guys heard from Garen this weekend came from a lot of our work inside of Landmark Forum, which is a personal development transformative course. We're in it together with Garen. And it's not about the course, but it is about transformation. To grow, you come into Herbalife at 25% distributor, member, however you look at it, to grow, to get to another pin level, to help people to become a new person, you must grow. But to grow, you must change, aka transformation. So we're going to really be talking about kind of some of the transformations we've been going through since we've been with Herbalife 4 years. Background on us, and it's not going to be about the celebrations tonight. It's going to be about what were some of the tough times, because you don't learn as much in the tough times. You don't learn as much in the successes as you do in the tough times. So biggest thing is we came into Herbalife 4 years ago, and the biggest thing that we saw in Herbalife, and this is something to always stay really focused on, is that we saw the lives getting changed. And that's what attracted me. I have a background in personal training in college. I have a background that I got my doctorate of physical therapy, but I also have a background as being a kid that was overweight, underconfident, late bloomer, didn't hit puberty until I was 16, 5'2" going into high school, never used to talk, lacked confidence, never wanted to get in front of the room, all these things. And it came to a point where I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired that I was like, yo, I want to become somebody. Because I had literally friends telling me I was nobody. So inside of becoming somebody, I knew that I had to get better. I had to work on myself, and that came through fitness. I got in the gym and just started throwing weights around. They were not heavy weights. They were 5 pounds and 10 pounds because I was short and not that strong. But I was just doing the activity because in my mind it made sense. To get better, I had to do better. I had to get to work. Like, I couldn't be chilling after school watching TV. I couldn't be chilling. When other people were chilling, that was my time to catch up because I felt like I was behind. So really the reason I shared that is because that's what brought me into this community the way that I was. I transformed myself in the gym. I grew a love for health and fitness because I felt like it gave me back control of a part of my life that I felt was out of control. I was like, yo, I can't control my height. I can't control that other people are stronger than me. And I get beaten all these races. I don't know if you guys ever used to race like on the playground. I was getting smoked by my friend. And I don't know about you guys, but that wasn't all right with me. Like, my boys smoked me on a foot race, and I was sitting there. I was so hot. Like, that was not okay with me because I wanted to be better. I wanted to be better. And that built me coming into Herbalife because I really learned that health and fitness isn't about what you were born with. Health and fitness is really about what you build with. Because I knew that I could beat the guy that never went to the gym if I was in the gym every day. I knew I could beat him. And it wasn't like beat him like I want to go beat him up. But I'm like, yo, I don't have to get smoked anymore. I don't have to be the weaker anymore. If I just put in the work, I can win here. And that transformed my body. I ended up dropping some body fat. I ended up gaining some confidence. And then the reason I tell you this story is because what really appealed to me about Herbalife was that I was seeing people give away that gift. That was a game changer for me in Herbalife. Because when I got healthy, just like when you guys got healthy, got your results, people started asking, and they started asking me too. And I was never, to be 100, I was never able to help anybody. People would be like, yo, I know the old Aubrey, you're different now. What did you do? And literally, I made a document on my computer called How to Get Lean and Fit. It basically said, eat veggie, eat chicken, hit the gym. That's what it said. And people would hit me up. I'd be like, yo, I'm going to just send you this email. And it never worked out. Because to be honest, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to pay it forward. And that really bugged me, honestly, because I really wanted people to feel how I felt. I didn't want people, like, if people knew and didn't do, I could be okay with that because you knew and you didn't do. But I couldn't be okay if people didn't know and they didn't do because they didn't even know. It's like if you never knew how to get healthy, how could you be expected to get healthy, to have energy, to be confident? I'm telling you guys, there's so many people out there that just don't know. It's not that they don't want it. It's not that they don't want to work for it. They have no idea that vending machine food is not nutrition. They think that's normal. They think McDonald's is a part of a healthy diet because that's what everybody does around them. And I just wanted to learn how to be able to help people feel like I felt. So when I came into Herbalife, it wasn't for y'all. I was trying to make money. It wasn't even for the products. I was already on supplements, but it was number one for the community. They were doing a workout, and I was like, they do a workout? That's crazy. I'm down to check it out. Then I heard the results, and I was like, whoa. Kind of like the stories you heard tonight. I was like, man, people are really getting results over there, man. Like, I just want to check what they're doing out. So this is a big thing to write down on your notes right now if you're taking notes tonight. If you're not taking notes, take notes because we're about to drop some nuggets, and you're going to remember it better when you write it down. So pursue. Pursue. How you going to get anything if you don't pursue it? This is the biggest difference I've seen between the successful and the unsuccessful. People sometimes think it's going to come knock on your door and be like, yo, I got your 6 figures. I got your 6-pack. I got your perfect marriage. We right here rocking. That's not how life works. So I knew that if I wanted to learn, I had to pursue them. I pursued. Somebody gave me their card. My coach at the fit camp gave me it or got my number somehow. I ended up like hitting somebody up to get his number. I was like, yo, I want to hear more about this health coaching thing because I wanted to pursue it. I wanted to figure out what they were doing to get these results. I wasn't planning on doing it, but I was at least pursuing the knowledge, the wisdom. So when I did, I said, okay, I'm going to try it out for a little bit. And as I did it, it worked. That's what's crucial is that when you do it, it works. But also you got to be helping your people, your clients, your team members, making sure that they're doing the right things to get the result, to build the belief. Because I could have done a lot of things in the beginning. I could have posted a lot of selfies on social media, and I could have, made my shake with, no PDM or no rebuild, and I could have just did Formula One with some water and shook it up. Because I would have been doing something, but that doesn't mean I was doing something to get results. So it was so crucial that I got results. I dropped my body fat from 9.2 to 5.6. So then it switched from I was pursuing to I had gotten it. I felt it. It was now inside of me. And from there, went it on to just like help a lot of people and like really got excited. But inside of your excitement, inside of my initial excitement, we had a wave and we went up, but then tough times hit. So now I'm going to get back to, like, we had success. We did all these things. It was great. It was awesome. But then the tough times hit. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is what happens after the wave dies down. Who knows what a wave is? Wave goes up, then guess what? What happens after the wave? Okay, so this is what a wave teaches you. Who are you when the wave goes up? Who are you when the wave goes down? Okay, I'm going to put it like this. 7 months fully qualified global expansion team. 17 months fully qualified millionaire team. Then for the next 24 months, not collecting a meal team bonus. Struggling to pay bills. Struggling to open up our own club. Struggling even at times to hit 5K to collect our get bonus. Because when a wave goes up, it's easy. When a wave goes down, character gets built. And that's when the real people expose themselves and you see who you really are. Because I'm going to tell you guys, then it wasn't about looking at the other people that weren't around anymore. It was really, it got to be a conversation that I took and I said, Aubrey, what are you here for? They're not here anymore. Okay. Then they were here for something and now they're not here for something. But what are you here for? And that was really the lesson we learned in 2015 inside of our 3rd year in Herbalife. Because you're going to have lessons every year. Whether you're a first year and you're learning the getting going of your Herbalife business, how to really build a steady clientele of people that are getting results with you. you're going to learn lessons with that because you're going to have some clients that are here, and then you're going to have some clients that aren't here. And if your clients leave and that makes you question whether you should be here, that's a personal conversation you get to have. Because I've had people on the team that they're like, well, all our clients fell off, so we fell off. I'm like, what the hell kind of sense does that make? If everybody jump off a bridge, you jumping off a bridge? What they do has nothing to do with what you do. You get to be the example for them. So then I got to learn about really why I was here. And that's one of the greatest tools, one of the greatest gifts that when the wave comes down can ever give you. Because it's not about who you are when you got 50 people, 20 people, 10 people at a fit camp. It's not who you are when you got people hitting you up all day to reorder and new clients getting started and referrals coming out of everywhere. And you sitting up in front at VIP, or you got guests at STS with you, or you got your new app popping out. That's not where you find out who you are. Because it's easy to be excited then. Because everybody's excited. When you find out who you are is when you got no new clients, your team is not answering your call, nobody's showing up to STS, your family is wondering why you're still doing this Herbalife thing. They're like, yo, that was last summer. What you doing now? That's when you find out, yo, who am I really? And that's when Roxy and I had to have a conversation with ourselves. We said, yo, we're here because we chose to be here. We're not here because anybody else chose to be here. So when other people doesn't show up or do show up, that's a bonus. That's not the cause. And really, we just got back into the no team mindset, meaning that what other people do doesn't affect what we do. We're going to invite, we're going to get new clients, we're going to get new results because it's not about what the team does. I'm not going to rely on my team member bringing a new guest. I'm not going to rely on my client getting a new result and wanting to reorder and bringing a referral. I'm not going to rely on that. I'm going to rely on my ability to go work hard, meet new people, and inspire them to get healthy. Go work hard, meet new people, and inspire them to earn some extra income as a team member, helping people. That's what I have control over. And the minute we did that was the minute that the shift opened up something in us. And then when you open up something, there's no holes in the universe. Like when you open up something in this planet, there's atoms and everywhere. There's not just like a blank space where the universe opens up and there's a whole gap in the universe. When you open it up, it must pour in because of how our universe is created. It does not allow a vacuum of a hole in the universe. So when you open, you are allowed to be poured into. So first we had to open ourselves, create new, expand ourselves, create new goals for ourselves, really work on who we are and who we wanted to be. And that came through a few programs like the Landmark Forum. We went to the Tony Robbins event. One of the biggest things is I took on a 50-book mission. I got 42 down. I didn't hit 50, but it wasn't about hitting 50. It was about setting some big goals that fired me up. Like what big goal right now are you just like, you say it and you get fired up? For me, I wanted to hit 200 pounds. I was 161. I was like, yo, 200 pounds just sounds hot. I want that. I said, you know what? $50,000 in savings sounds hot. I want that. 50 books, man, that sounds hot. I want that. Because I was going for small goals. And small goals don't motivate you. I want $5 in the safe. There ain't nobody fired up about that. 50,000, it wasn't about the 50,000, but it was about expanding my mind so much that even if I didn't hit it, it was still expanding, like no matter what. We didn't hit any of those 50-50 and all that, but we got farther than we'd ever gotten any other year. So I'm encouraging you inside of the challenges, maybe you haven't challenged yourself inside of a new goal that inspired you. And maybe that's why people aren't inspired around you. I looked around and I was giving so much to the team inside of let's do a big camp, let's open this club, that I wasn't leading by example inside of expanding myself anymore because I was expending so much energy. And it's not a bad thing, but put it like this. It's kind of like the parent that says, stop smoking, stop smoking, stop smoking, but they got a cigarette in their hand. The biggest thing they can do for you is they stop smoking. Get healthy, get healthy, get healthy. Biggest thing they can do for you is they get healthy. Make an impact, grow an Herbalife. Biggest thing they can do for you is make an impact and grow an Herbalife. That's why Garen Jones has been such an inspirational person. Garen don't talk about doing it. He just do it. He got the gold G-Wagon, so he don't got to say nothing. And it's not about the G-Wagon. It's about doing it, because in the doing it, it provides the belief for you. Because imagine if Garen was driving a Corolla, a 96 Corolla, and there's nothing wrong with a 96 Corolla, but then that might have you thinking a certain way about what could Herbalife provide for you now. But the real thing is that, Garen, it's like, how are you being that for your clients? When you lose the 30 pounds, you give your clients belief they can drop the 5. But when you lose the 5, they start doubting whether they can even drop 1. So you got to remember, you are that for them, just like those in your life are that for you. And that's really what we got back to. Leading from the front, because we realized that leading from the front was exactly the best thing we could do for people. And, I'm not going to take up all the time. I'm one half of the duo. And really what's so cool is we do get to do this together. And, it's amazing because it adds an extra layer to our relationship. Because it doesn't have to just be we're in a relationship. We're also business partners. We're also collaborators. We're also accountability partners. All these things. And that's what's so awesome about Herbalife. So it's so cool because now you guys will get to hear a female's perspective and a male's perspective. You take what you like from each. So I got to give it up for my business partner, my friend, my accountability partner, my workout buddy, all the above. Give it up for Rox.
What's up, you guys? Thanks. Thank you guys so much for having us on. I really appreciate the invitation. My name is Roxy. Aubrey and I do this business now together, and it's been such an incredible journey. So I'll share with you guys really quick. For me, 4 years ago, I was introduced to Herbalife, fell in love with the community. I fell in love with the possibilities of what Herbalife offered, because for me, I went to college for a bit in my life, and in high school, I was always ditching. I actually didn't even finish high school. I paid for my diploma, so that's how I was able to get into college. And so whenever I was in college, I was just like, nothing excited me, nothing fired me up about like a career. And I couldn't find it. And I found myself taking courses like yoga, Tai Chi, religion, and I was just really trying to find myself. And at the age of 18, that's when I was in Texas, and I moved out there because for me, whenever I moved out there, I knew that I didn't want my life to look like the people that I had always grown up around. I grew up in this city called Bell, and one of the things that I noticed is that people got pregnant either in high school or right after high school, and they always lived there, and that was it. And fortunate enough for me, because of the ebbs and the flows inside of my family, my aunt and uncle took care of me for a lot of my teen years. And whenever they would take care of me, they would take me on vacations and go out to eat. And I was able to experience a different kind of life. Whereas with my parents, it was always the life of there's not money. There's no money. When I was little, my father was always drinking and beating on my mom. And then whenever my stepdad and her got together, it was kind of like the same story. It was the same story of him drinking, and now it wasn't physical, but he would be verbally abusive. And so I'm very grateful that I had my aunt and uncle in my life because they showed me another life and a different possibility of what could be available for my life. And so whenever I moved at 18, that's when I was just like, okay, I need to get out of here to create something new. And my aunt and uncle had actually moved to Texas, and I moved out there with them. Within a year, I moved out. And that's when I was really starting to ask myself, why am I here? What's the purpose of my life, and what's the whole purpose of it all? And for me, it was just like those kinds of questions where I just felt so lost. I'm just like, what is my mission as a human being to be here? Like, is this really it? Like, I was working from 10 to 4 and 5 to midnight every single day. I was a hard worker, like, already, but I knew that there was something more and that there was something bigger for me. And so after living out there a few years, I decided to move back out here because I felt like all of my growth happened in Texas, my spiritual growth. And then I was just like, you know what, I'm going to move back to California. And at the time I was with a different partner, and we moved out here together, and he didn't end up loving it. And we ended up growing apart. And for me, that was like a very tough time in my life because I felt like I didn't have anyone anymore. And so I went through a kind of a tough breakup. And through that breakup, though, it was just kind of like finding myself again on how to be like my own. And so that whole year here in California, like I thought it was going to be amazing. I'm here. And to be honest, it wasn't. I moved in with my cousins back to the city of Bell, back to the place where I initially left from, and I found myself back in the same city. Didn't really want to be there, but living with my parents was not an option. And so whenever I moved to Bell, I started to work at a dispensary. Out here, that stuff is legal. And at the time, it wasn't so legal. And I was working there, and I was working from like 10 a.m., I think, until 8 o'clock at night. So again, 12-hour shifts a day or something like that. And again, I was just like, I was making money, but I didn't have a life. I was working 6 days a week. And again, I was just like, is this it? And then finally, got in trouble for that. And I remember they raided the place where I was working at. Cops showed in and they raided the whole place. I got handcuffed and I was just like, this isn't me. This isn't my life. Like, I'm not this person. I knew that I wanted to do something. And so for me, I knew that in order for things to change, again, it wasn't going to be the whole environment that had to change, but it had to be myself. And that's when I got started on Herbalife. And I got started on the products, and for me, it was like, okay, I need to change like me, like my body, and take control of what I have right now, because everything outside of me was chaos. I was like super behind on like my bills because of my job situation. Then I got a serving job months later. So I was so behind. So I was just like, okay, let me just focus on this. And that's for me how I got started. And once I saw the possibilities of what was available inside of Herbalife, which was get in the best shape of your life, help other people, you know, and take it where you want. You could build a business if you want. And that's what I wanted, because I saw really the opportunity to be free. Because when I did live in Texas, I knew that I did want to be a free human being. And that's all I really wanted. And that's what I found here. And the biggest thing is that it's been such an incredible journey. It's had its ups and its downs. But just like Aubrey said, we've learned the most in the downs. And that's where you really get to find yourself, and you really get to know what you stand for and who you are. And it's all a challenge. And most people, what I like, we were talking the other day, is like most people don't leave Herbalife because it's Herbalife. Most people leave because of it's you. And so the biggest thing has been working on ourselves. And one of the things for us, 2015 has been like, 2015 was like one of those years where we were tested and we were challenged. And the biggest thing was our staying power. You know, for a big majority of the first time when we first got started, and when everything and the wave was going, you would look left and right back, like there was people everywhere. And then came 2015, you look left and right, and it was just Aubrey and I. And it was just like, what are we going to do? Are we going to stay, or like, what are we going to do? And take in mind, Aubrey was actually full-time, and he actually got a part-time, and then I still had a job. So what we did and what we chose to do was to look at Herbalife as like the cherry on the top, because this is extra. And that's the way that we looked at it. Because once we were able to look at it as extra and say like, hey, you know what? We still make $4,000 to $5,000 extra a month. And that's where gratitude really came in. And we became grateful for that and what was available to us inside of that moment, because most people don't get to make $4,000 to $5,000 extra. And so we got really clear on what it is that we wanted. And came December and came January, that's when we were like, okay, that's it. Like, that's it. What are we going to do to make 2016 look completely different? And closing down our club at the time was one of the most, like, it was difficult because it almost felt like we were failing. But if you're not failing, and if you're not failing forward, then you're really not growing, and you're really not growing, and you're more concerned about what people think. And so for us, we shut it down and we closed it down. And that's when we said, you know what, we're going to act as if we're the brand new distributor. What are we going to do? We got amazing results. We got new results. We did a photo shoot. And from that, we just felt great. It's like we were back in our flow, because in 2015, we were at the club and taking care of all this stuff, and we weren't taking care of ourselves, and we weren't being as attractive. And so in 2016, that's when we're like, okay, we're going to focus on ourselves. We're going to grow ourselves. What are we going to do? And inside of that, we started to change our whole business structure. And that's one of the things that's so amazing about Herbalife is that there's not just one way to do it. And there's so many different ways and how you get to do it. And you get to find what you're excited about. You get to find what you're passionate about. You get to find your flow. And ultimately, that flow is going to lead to help and impact and empower more people inside of what we do. But the biggest thing is that you have to be inside of your own flow to make the whole flow work. Because if you're not in flow, you're not going to attract and nothing else can flow. And so that for us was the biggest thing has been working on ourselves and really digging deep inside of us. Like Aubrey mentioned, we invested and we went into the Tony Robbins seminar in 2016, and then came the end or 2015. I can't remember the dates, but we went to Tony Robbins. And then recently we were just invited to, and hence, you guys, 2016 was one of our best years. 2015, like he said, we were struggling to hit 5K. 2016, it's been way over 10K every single month. And it's not that Herbalife changed. It's just that we were willing to change. We were willing to make the necessary changes that we had to go through and grow through in order for our business to start growing and in order to be able to attract new people. And at the end of the year, our mentors, Mark and Joe Addy, they invited us out to their graduation ceremony, to the Landmark, and we went, and it was so funny because Aubrey's like, we're not signing up, we're not doing it. Mm-hmm. And then finally we get there and we hear some stuff, and then we were like, well, if we want a different year, we got to be willing to do different again. Because if we had everything that we need, and if we have everything, like, we would be where we want to be. And quite frankly, like, we're not even like super close because we have big goals and dreams. And so for us, it was like, okay, you know what? We're going to do it. And the biggest thing that I could give you guys from this process is really to identify patterns and stories inside of our lives, because we all have them. You know, and for me, I started to realize certain patterns inside of my life. You know, like I mentioned to you guys, like my mom and that family, it was like always there's no money, we don't have enough, and late on bills and messed up credit, all that stuff. And I moved out at 18. I said, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to have my life together. But because my aunt and my uncle, it was like there's always an abundance and this, that, all of that stuff. So I got to see the two sides. However, we sometimes still subconsciously take after certain patterns and stories of our parents. And then I found myself sooner than later, I found myself without money. There's not money, I'm broke, and all of that stuff. It's just stuff. And if you always say that people don't have money, like when you're trying to get somebody started on a program or you're looking for people, they already all know about Herbalife, people don't have any money, like you're creating that reality for yourself. And you're creating that reality for yourself, and you're creating that story. And so the biggest thing has been for me is identifying patterns inside of my life that I subconsciously took from my family and people in my life, and now seeing those things and knowing that I'm not any of those things. And so for everyone, it's just like you can ask yourself, like, what are some of the things that I have taken on in my life that are not mine, but that I can see my parents? And there's always an impact in that. There's always an impact in the story of what we say to ourselves. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, whether it's to protect ourselves, all of that, there's always an impact. And just realizing what is the impact of whatever story that you say to yourself. Do you want it to be a positive impact on your life or a negative impact? You get to choose every single day. So I think that was time, and I want to respect everybody's time. And I hope you guys took some valuable stuff from this. And I really want to open it up and give it back to Kylando. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and really taking the time to be here for yourself and for the group, for all of us. Because this call wouldn't be this call without each and every single one of you on the call.
Awesome. Wow. Okay, so thank you for that, both Roxy and Aubrey. Fantastic. I took, 1, 2, 3 pages of notes. So I'm good on my end. thank you for that. It's just an awesome conclusion to hearing Garen, and then bam, Sunday family time with you guys. So this is perfect. So thank you for that. So what we're gonna do, we got about 15 minutes. We're gonna open the line. Roxy and Aubrey, are you guys okay with a little Q&A? If need be? Okay, cool. So we're gonna open the line for you guys to have, if you have any questions, comments, thank yous, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and let's see what we can do here.
Hey guys, Mariah from New York. I don't have any questions or anything, but I just want to say thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to join our call. Call is awesome. I also got like 3 pages of notes, so really excited. I've been following you guys for a while, so I just want to say thank you for consistently, being on Snapchat and social media and just sharing your whole entire day, little things that you do throughout the day that just, like when you wash your car and stuff, like, and you go into like how you should do it yourself and not have some, like, go through car wash and stuff like that. It's just little things that I wake up every day, like, excited to watch your Snap and watch you make your shakes, and you give so many little health tips that I swear I drop so many nuggets in regular conversations from things that I've gotten from you guys. So truly appreciate you, and thank you for always just sharing and being so transparent.
Awesome. Great share,
Thanks,
Mariah.
Mariah.
Appreciate that. Anybody else?
Thanks so much, Mariah. Tell her to share more on Snapchat. I've been trying to get her to share.
I love when you do that. That's what he does to me all the time.
Awesome. Any other questions, comments?
I'll go. This is Alyssa, Green Bay, Wisconsin. I just want to thank you for your time. Very, very powerful things that you both said. I took a lot of notes as well. I really liked the pursue topic and how do you get anything without pursuing it, which is basically how this business is built, and being face-to-face and chasing your goals and being determined. I also liked when you're not in flow, nothing else is, because that's so true, and just being in touch with everything in your goals. So again, thank you for your time. Appreciate you.
You got it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Alyssa. Appreciate that. Anyone else? We want to do like a mini recap at the end after everyone's questions, and then I have a question personally, so I will hold mine for a second. Do you have a question that you ask?
No, but we'll wait. See if anybody else.
Anybody else have any questions, comments?
Yeah, I go. I just want to say, yeah, thank you again for y'all.
Who is this? Who's this speaking? I'm sorry.
J. My bad. J. Earl, my bad.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good to go now.
Anyway, but thank you for getting on the call and sharing, dropping some nuggets and stuff. Like what Alyssa said too about the pursuing thing, I like that. Basically, like, if you're not pursuing, then nothing's gonna happen. So if you're in every day thinking like people gonna come to you and all this, it's not gonna happen. You gotta get up and do it. That's like I had post something like that. Like you can continue to sleep on your dreams, or you can get up and chase them. So it's whatever you want to do. If you want to keep sleeping, hey, just keep sleeping, because nothing ain't gonna ever change. So if I want to grow, I had to get up and do it. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it, Jay Flex.
Hey, thanks, Jay.
Awesome.
Appreciate that. Anybody else? We got 10 minutes, so we got some time.
Hi, guys.
Oh, there.
Mr. Crawford here. Of course, I was just waiting for everybody to go and see who was going to go. Of course, first and foremost, thank you, Thailand, for hosting the call. It's awesome to sit back and be able to watch other people do what you used to do, to not have to do it so much anymore, and to watch how seamlessly you guys have learned and transitioned into being amazing leaders. And then also thank you, Roxy and Aubrey, for getting on and being transparent and truthful and honest about what you have to change about yourself, because a lot of people will come on here and give fluff and talk about the good times and high volume and all of the trips, but they kind of skipped at the real of reality of the situation sometimes. And I think it's very, very important for people to hear that. It's very, very important for people to also know possibilities. So, I mean, if I had any question that I think people will want to hear, it would be, I believe it was Roxy who touched on how the volume just changed and went to, over 10,000 volume points. But is there anything like specifically that you all did that you think you can attest to the volume going, getting back to being consistently, over even around 10,000 volume points is nasty either way, especially the way that life is now for people. So if there's anything that you can share, about what it is maybe you specifically did to shift and start doing that 10K volume.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great question. I'll tell you one thing, and this is something I got from Brooke Kerwin that just makes sense to me. She said, what were your health results when your business was growing? What are your health results now? And if they're one and the same, they were growing then and they're growing now, your business is probably growing then and growing now. So the biggest thing for us was a personal growth goal. And that came in, the first one was the weight. Like, I don't know what it's going to take for you. For me, it took guy out here, Zach Fit, dude is crazy energetic, but he sent me a picture when I was emceeing at a fit camp and my arm looked small.
And I was telling him that already.
And she was telling me that already because I was trying to do calisthenics and body weight work and jump off trees. I don't know what the heck I was doing, but I was getting bored at the gym. So the arm was looking small, and I said, yo, that's not me. I'm swole. And I had to get back in the gym. I was like, I'm just about to go on a crazy, crazy gain. And I just needed to get a new goal I was excited about because I had to stop, remember the stories. I had to stop telling myself, well, you can't gain weight. You can't gain healthy weight. You can't do it. Your body type is this. I had to get that story out of my head. I wanted to actually attack the story. I wanted to see it was either wrong or it was right, but I was going to give it everything. I wanted to debunk it. I was either going to give it all and not gain, or I was going to smash the myth. Because I was tired of giving the myth so much power because it was controlling. I was like, well, I'm not going to gain. Or if I gain, it's fat and whatever. I was like, I'm about to see if this thing is real. And inside of that just started the stair stepper to so many other things. So it came inside of a personal goal in the health result. So I would say for you, what's your health result that maybe you think that's for somebody else? Man, a six-pack's for somebody else. Man, full legs and defined to somebody else. Gaining 10 pounds to somebody else. Running a marathon to somebody else. It's not what the goal is, but what have you been telling yourself that's not for you? Because it might be in the pursuit of that where you expand some borders in yourself. And in the expansion of the border, remember, that's where the filling comes in, because through that, we started to attract different. We started to think different. So that's, as soon as we started doing that, that's when shift. Volume is just a reflection of you. Volume's not volume. Yeah, where's your volume? Show it to me. You can point to the screen. That's a screen with lights on it. Volume is a reflection of you, how you're growing, how you're impacting, how you're influencing, how you are changing. That's what volume is. And have you guys ever heard of when you're not feeling good, your volume's not good? You ever heard that? When you're not feeling good, your volume. I thought that was some BS to get us to do more volume. I was like, that's some BS. I'm not I'll do more volume because I want to do more volume. That's really actually true. It's really actually true. Roxy and I put our personal volume order in on the first, and after documented volume, this isn't going to work, but it worked for us. We put our personal volume goal in like a personal consumption on the first, and we consume a lot of products for results. So our volume shoots up. So then we look at the volume, we feel good, we help people because we're resonating in a certain way. The volume goes up even more. So just remember, volume is a feeling. Stay around what makes you feel good. New results, helping people, personal development. I don't know what makes you feel good.
Yeah. And inside of that, I mentioned to you guys before too, is finding your flow. Because in the year of our lowest volume year, it was when we weren't feeling our greatest, and we weren't in an excitement flow. It was just it was almost a have to. And when we switched and we went for the new results, and then we started to really get excited about creating a flow for our business, that's also another thing that happened for us inside of that is what are we excited about creating? And that's the biggest thing. What am I excited about creating? Don't look at the stuff and the stories because that's right here. But once you step out of that stuff you have a whole clean slate of creating whatever it is that you want to create. And that's what we did. And that's what we really tapped into. And that's why we had like our biggest growth year in 2016.
Yeah. Great question.
Thank you. I appreciate it. See, that's why you ask questions, guys. You get a whole other training inside of questions. So that's why you always ask questions. I'm about to send them a PayPal for this session because this is fire right now.
Oh, wow. And here I'm thinking that you guys are done dropping nuggets.
That was awesome.
Woo! Okay, awesome. Great. Thank you for that. Thank you for that question too, Steven. That was perfect. Anybody else have any questions before I ask mine and kind of just give a recap of tonight's family time? Going once. Going. Oh, right. Go ahead.
So we had actually talked on our call earlier about because I personally have a trouble like pulling in new clients and stuff, and we talked about possibly just pushing 3-day trials and stuff like that. Do you guys have a specific thing that you like to do most of the time? Like, what's your specific? I don't even know what would you call it to get new people in.
Yeah. So for us, one of the things that we created this year is we do a 21-day challenge. And we do a 21-day challenge, and this is why it's so important too to meet people and build sideline relationships inside of the STSs and things like that. You know, we have a friend and she was like, 21-day challenge. I was like, let's give this a shot. And I actually got really excited about it because I put a whole PDF together, made it super awesome for people to just follow the instructions, and they get a whole guide. They get a whole guide inside of this, a workout guide, a meal guide, and all of that. And it just fires us up. And that's what we do is we talk about the 21-day challenge. But one thing that's very key is for you to get a 21-day challenge result, or maybe if it's for you, a 3-day trial result. That way you already are sharing from the space of experience.
And I'm going to tell you guys, it's not about the thing. It's not about the 21-day challenge. I tell people it's not about the thing. It's how you feel about the thing. We tried 3-day trials. It just didn't personally work for us. And you know why I found out? Because I was talking to somebody that did work for it. We never got a 3-day result. We did it, but we didn't live it. Because we were doing like a 5-day eat clean challenge, like Monday through Friday. It was cool. We were trying to, you got to try a lot of stuff. You got to stand out front of Ralph's and open the door and tell people great morning and stuff like that. To know that you don't want to do that. Because maybe you do want to do that. But you just, it's not the thing. It's how you feel about the thing. But you're going to have to try a lot of things to find your thing. And once you find it, you just go massively in it. Because it's like, what am I going to try? What am I going to try? Okay, I'm going in. I found it. It's kind of like when you dated. You dated. Okay, they're cool. This is the one we going in. It's the same principle. Now, I'm not saying the same, you know what I'm saying. Find the thing, get your result, and then go massive on the thing.
And one last thing, Mariah, if I could add to this, and if you allow me to, the story. It's hard for me to get clients. Realizing that if you say that, you'll keep getting that, and it'll keep being hard no matter what. No matter what you do, no matter what you try, it'll keep being hard until you realize, why is it hard? And say it's not hard, it's easy. Mm-hmm. And you start to shift the language, whether at first you're not going to believe it in the very first minutes, but realizing that this is what you say, and because of this, in your mind, it keeps on happening. And so once you start to shift that, it can start to change.
Yeah, that's a game changer. This is easy.
It's easy.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that question again, Mariah. That was awesome. So this is what we're going to do. It's already, we've used up our hour, but Aubrey and Roxy, are you okay to just go for a little bit longer? Okay, cool. So we're gonna. Kylie's got something, and I have a question, and then we'll end at that.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you guys again. Within these questions, like Steven was saying, it's been like more notes that I didn't have a piece of paper for. So thank you guys for that. And it's hard to even recap everything you guys have talked about because it's touched in so many different areas. So we definitely appreciate that. And the biggest thing that I think that stuck out for me was what Aubrey said at the beginning of what like had gotten you going, of seeing people give the gift. And I think that like is so like, I'm going to write that down somewhere, because that within itself is a reminder for all of us of what Herbalife is. And all of us have gotten amazing results and have energy every day that people lack. But like, there's still so many people out there searching for this, searching for the simplest thing, but literally it is a gift. And so many people just don't know that. So that is a reminder that on those days where you don't feel like talking to people or you don't feel like this, just remembering that. And you could walk by someone that it will be the gift for them to change their life. So I just wanted to recap that because that was really powerful for me.
Yes. Cool. And yeah, so to kind of go off of that, I guess my question for the both of you is, you guys had mentioned that 2016 was like amazing, incredible, like a great year for you guys. So I just kind of want to know, like, for 2016 being a really good year for you guys, like what action steps, or if any, or just to kind of do the same maybe, that you guys are going to take to kind of continue that momentum into 2017? Like, do you guys have anything specific, or are you guys just kind of just going where you ended the 2016 year, if that makes sense?
That's a great question. Number one, committing to personal growth. So what that means is, yes, STS, LDW, this call, you're going to grow. But it's not the same as when you pursue outside growth inside of like expanding opportunities. So for example, we were at Landmark Forum. It's a personal transformative course. And I'm not saying do Landmark, but I am saying pursue something that's going to stretch you. So we were at the graduation for Mark and Jill, and I looked up at the schedule and I said, if 2017 is going to be different, what are you going to do different? And that's what we said. We're going to sign up for this course. Because guess what? The course was different. We'd never done it. So I'm looking at people get breakthroughs in the course, and the course is not cheap, but I'm looking at people get breakthroughs, and then there's a decision. Do you want a breakthrough? Now, it doesn't have to be that, but maybe what in your life have you been looking at like, this could be a breakthrough for me? That book, that certification, that trip, that maybe take a trip to another city to meet pursue a leader that you want to mentor. Like, I see people come out to LA all the time, and I know they get major nuggets when they do. That promotion, whatever it is, that was number one. And then number two was committing to new personal results. So after we got the game result, we got the result, but we didn't stop. So what we said is, we're going to set a date for another photo shoot, because we did a photo shoot at first. But a photo shoot is a photo shoot. That doesn't mean we can't have another one. Now, it's not it's never the exacts, but it is, what is that thing for you? What's your next milestone inside of your result? So the personal development course was a key thing for us, because it was 3 days of 10 to 11 hours a day of peeling off layers, of expanding, of dealing with stuff. Like, I'm going to tell you guys, the example that Garen gave is so accurate. You have all this stuff you've never dealt with. I guarantee you, from childhood, from things that happen, from relationships to friends, to all this stuff that is in your mind, and it's probably so deep you don't even realize it anymore. And it's like packs on your shoulders and all this stuff on you. And it's like, how do you expect to grow when you got all this stuff on you? So for us, I didn't know that was going to be it, but doing the activity to peel the layers off, because that's not going to happen sitting at home. It's not going to even happen on Zoom here with us. It's not going to happen there. It's got to be in a place where it's so like intense, 10, 11 hours a day, sitting there all freaking day hearing these stories and going over like, damn, I see myself in the story. I see myself in the story. Like, something inside of that peeled off the layers. But we had to commit to that, because Tony Robbins at our first event said, you're going to go to an event, you're going to feel great, and then you're going to come out and you're going to go back down. The difference will be if you commit to continuously going to events over, make just like STS and LDW are part of your event schedule. What else inside of your personal development quest is inside of your every year? For us, we made a commitment, one personal development course a year. 2014, October, or 2015, October, we did Unleash the Power Within, Tony Robbins. Most expensive money we've ever put into an event. It was $1,100 for 2 tickets. And you know what? I was sitting there glued the whole time. I was like, I'm getting every single nugget in this damn place. I'm getting everything. But it's because you get what you pay for every time. There was people in there that got tickets for free that left. And it's because they didn't put any value in it. So that was 2015. 2016, December, Landmark Forum, the first course. 2017, January, Landmark Advanced course. So every year we committed to a personal development growth seminar. So that's just been one thing for us. So inside of that, and we did Future President's Team Retreat training as well. That's another one. You definitely want to get to that. Future Mill Team Experience training. You want to get to that. So what is it for you that you're going to commit to that's going to stretch you, that's outside of your comfort zone? That's, for us, we committed to it. Regardless of the amount, it was expensive. Regardless of the time, it was long as hell. Regardless of all that, we said, we know this is what it takes. We'll commit to it. So for you, what is that inside of your plan? That's what did it for us. That and the photo shoot, setting the time, setting the date. We getting crazy results by this date, no matter what.
So clear action steps, results, work on yourself.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Well, so to end that off, if you guys don't have, there's no more questions left. Sorry. So if you guys didn't jump on your opportunity, that's on you. But guess what? I'm sure they do not mind getting pinged or whatever you want to call it on the side if you guys have any questions, or even just to say thank you because this is their time. And they went over the time that we had asked them for. So thank you guys for that. We appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and end the call. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and then just kind of unmute everybody so you guys can say goodnight. Thank you guys again so much with all my heart. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate it. And
Let's get it. See y'all extravaganza in July.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Have a good night.